Hey, you are there. This is Kgadi the Possibilitarian, and finally, I got to do this video. I've been trying it for some time because if y'all follow me, for those who follow me, you'd realize that I'm more into writing than doing videos. I've attempted them, before, but it was like nah. But I think I will start doing more of this because some of you have been like, okay, we need some sort of material that we can have with us, yeah, boy. So I thought, why not, and also the reason why I'm doing this, it's because of the message that I want to convey to you all today, which is the common question that most people ask me, either after they have followed me for some time on social media, or they've encountered me speaking, or after, yeah, actually, it's also the question, the very first question that I was asked recently during an interview with you. How do I do it? You are a possibilitarian, and it is a question that actually even prompted me to write the book My Beautiful Roller Coaster Journey, because for a number of times, I've encountered people who thought I'm cushioned against, I'm immune to life struggles. They didn't think I go through stuff also that life does, hit me. I'm always positive, and so I thought it would be great to, yeah, to just share. The reason why I wrote that book was just to rip myself off, because people out there sell people dreams, so I felt like that is not me. I want y'all to get the real story. To be the possibilitarian, it is not all this, it's not glamorous and all this kind of stuff. And for me to call myself the possibilitarian, I ended. It is not just some brand or some name that I just, this look good on me. If anything, I was 14 when I actually looked for that. I came up with that. I was just looking for a name that could resemble the person who represent possibility. Yeah, man. So and obviously logic says that if you want to represent possibility, there is no way you can represent possibility without encountering situations where, it all seems impossible. So if you wish to be the possibilitarian, or to be me, or if you want to know what it is like to be me, it means I have faced lots of situations where it was so hard, it was difficult, and I think it was just an understatement to even say it was hard, because I do go through the things that most of you go through. It gets hard. It's just that, just like the book, what the book says, that life is 10% what happens to you, 90% is how you respond to it. That is the philosophy that I believe, that it's what sets me apart from other people. Yes, I went through a lot, and maybe somebody went through the toughest stuff in life. However, I would say what really, really, what the secret is behind the possibilitarian is how I respond to life struggles. Because I believe that all the struggles that I go through, they're common to men, and what's common to men we can all overcome. Yeah, but so it is not something that is new. So it is something that we all, go through. Some of us, we go through those things, but it's a question of, when you go through those things, how do you respond to them? So yeah, so I thought it was just imperative that I share some of the bits and pieces of how do I actually navigate through life. Because I remember recently I received a WhatsApp text, and this lady was like, I envy your life, you live a blessed life. And I was like flattered. I was like, what do you mean? Because I want to understand what is that you mean. And at the time I remember, since the start of January, it has been hard for me. There's been a series of struggles. However, I'm no longer scared anymore, actually. If anything, I believe that life without struggles is not to be trusted, because we grow, we evolve in life. So we need, in order for some of us to get to the next level, we need to learn certain things. We need to be equipped before we could get to those next big moves. Yeah, but so this lady was like, you don't go through stuff and you don't complain. And I smiled and I told her that, you know what? I'm flattered that you think that way. Thank you that you think I am blessed. I feel blessed. However, I would tell you, Guti, um, I do cry. I do fall apart. I do throw myself against the wall. I no longer do that. I used to do that when I'm mad. I do cry. I love having a good cry. I cry. And yes, it's the very typical emotions that a human being goes through. I do go through those things. But it's how I respond, how I allow myself, how I conduct myself when I'm faced with such situations. What would what was said as a part. So I thought it was important for me as somebody that other people follow for inspiration and to navigate through life, that I get to take them along with me. And I'm not prescribing nothing here. I'm giving a perspective, because most people that say, I look up to you, Kgadi, you're my role model, and I want them to, if there's anything I can give to them, because I do not wish for a person to be me. I don't. Sometimes I even cry when I see, I don't know. Sometimes, Nami, what do I call this? I surprise myself. There are times where I just reflect and I'm like, wow, Kgadi, that was deep. That is in terms of what I overcome in life. And I do not want to, to trap people to say it'll be easy and no. And I do not. It was not a microwave kind of resilience that I have built. I didn't just wake up and I'm a possibilitarian. I had to earn to be a possibilitarian. It took me years, and I think if anything that I could share with you, what developed me into this person that is able to go through a roller coaster, this emotional roller coaster, and I'm okay and I can smile and I can authentically just be happy. Just last year on 2 days before my birthday, my former mentor was like, it was just after months we've spoken, and the first thing she said to me was like, Kgadi, I want you to go outside and shout 3 things. I know it's corny, to shout 3 things that you're most grateful for. And I remember I said them, like one of them was the fact that I've published a book. The other thing was that I was part of this other program. And the third thing I said, I am happy. And I let that sink, and I actually cried, because when she asked me, what do you mean you are happy? I said, I'm content, And at the time, I was knee deep in struggles. But I was happy because I have learned what no matter how deep I am in struggles, I think I have developed this thick skin and this contentment, this level of contentment where even when it is so hard, inside there is peace. And I have learned that there are people who are sometimes, when they are laughing and they're happy, when they're still in the middle of that laugh, there's this lump of sadness that creeps in. For me, it's not there. I was happy, and I said to her, I said, I think I have achieved what most people are trying to achieve. I achieved it so early, which is contentment and peace that is within. And even speaking about this right now, it just, I'm even trying to right now. But then, yeah, I said that it is something that I have developed over time. So I'm just going to give you 3 things that I have picked up with they are the key ingredients to me, to helping me. Even today, I still go through tough stuff. I'm not immune to life struggles. So what actually developed me, it's just a lot of things that developed me, which I intend to share with you, along the way. I'll be sharing some bits and pieces with y'all, so that we can just journey together, because that is just the only thing. When I was asked in 26 by She Leads Africa, how would I like to be remembered for, how would I like to be remembered? And I said, as a person who lived to represent possibility and who created possibilities for other people, that's just why I live. This is why I breathe. That is my oxygen. So that's why I intend to just share my authentic experiences. And yeah, because I believe it is in telling our own stories that we evoke those stories within you, and we actually help you to journey with you to places within yourself where you wouldn't normally go through, we wouldn't normally visit by yourself. So the three things that I believe that have been the key ingredients in building Kgadi. The first thing is authenticity. And it is pretty much a cliche because I don't know. I just don't know how to be a fraud. I don't know, and I don't know how to not be me. I don't know how to not be me. Um, and I've been learning to embrace everything new that comes up about me, and being authentic and being myself and owning my truth. It is just the thing that has been so detrimental in building Kgadi. Authenticity. I've never, yes, there are times where I am tempted to put on a mask, and there are times where I feel with it, I'm operating from a point of trying to prove, trying to explain self, or of not being authentic. And you know what happens to me? I have anxiety. I spiral out. I lose my peace. That's when I know, Kgadi, now you're not being yourself. So I have invested a lot in building a relationship with myself, and owning who I am, everything that makes me me, everything, because I believe even all with all these flaws have been stitched together to build the possibility that you're looking at, that y'all are following. So this is me being authentic, owning my truth. It's just being you. It's just being you, and owning your story. And because somebody said, if you, the moment you own up your flaws and everything that makes you you, nobody will use it against you. So it's about being authentic. So as time goes on, I will try to teach on what being authentic means. What does it take for you to be you? What does that even mean? So that is just the first thing that has been a key ingredient in building me. And then the second thing is that I have built a relationship with myself. Building a relationship with myself, I believe in body, mind, and spirit. If anything, I believe that we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. So it starts with mastering the art of listening to your God, that small voice. You see the small voice that people always talk about in my language, in Spedi, they say, so your God is your God. So, and that is true. I can actually uh what is that? I'm an example, I can actually even prove that. I'm a witness of that. Yeah, yeah. I've been exercising that muscle of listening to myself. Yeah, well, and when there's doubt, then it means don't. Those basic things, when 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 what this thing is wrong. I believe that we always know what is the right thing to do. However, depending on how many times you're trying to silence that voice, because that voice is there to protect us, so if you keep on suppressing it, it will get to a point whereby it no longer protects you. It doesn't have its strength. It's no longer there. It is very weak. So you end up doing you making this mistakes and making the wrong choices, and then you have to pay the price, because that's what life is all about. That thing is there to teach you what is right and what is wrong, and at that in that moment, at the brief moment, what is right and what is wrong. However, you choose to do the other. So if you choose to do if you choose to negotiate with your God, then you are killing it slowly but surely. But if you always strive to listen to it, so what happens is that over time, it will be amplified. Then you will know, you will just feel it. When they ask you, how did you know? You're like, I just knew it. It just felt so right. So it will get to the point where it feels so right to do it. So that is just the second thing. Right now I got to a point in my life where I know that if I'm working on a project, and I don't feel peace. I know that you're doing it for the wrong reasons, Kgadi. You're doing it. It's either you're doing it for the wrong reasons, you are trying to compete with the next person, or you're being a fraud. That's how I know it. And yeah, it's pretty much that. And for me, if I'm not me, everything else just spirals out. So that's how I build a relationship with myself. And it's like when when somebody is reprimanding you and you feel your eyes soaking up, that moment you know what you are about to cry. You have to build a relationship with yourself to understand that when you're about to break down, and to learn how to manage and navigate through those energies. You understand? So it's about building a relationship with yourself and being self-aware. And self-awareness and self-relationship is one of the key subjects that I talk about. So as I go on, and those who follow me, yeah, you'll get to learn what does those things mean and how can they help you. Yeah. So the last thing is, I do not run away from struggles. I prefer to immerse myself in experiences. So what that means is that I allow myself to feel. I allow myself to cry, to scream, and to fall apart. I because I believe that is the only way to pick up the lessons. The one thing that I refuse in life is to go through a cycle of pain, because if you go through a cycle of pain, it means that you don't learn. So, and if you don't learn, life will keep on teaching you until you learn. You understand? So, and that is so evident for me. That lesson I got there was this lesson that I couldn't learn for 3 years, 3 consecutive years. It was with regards to my academics, where I found myself every October, November, December crying about how am I going to fund my studies the next year and all that. And I realized that you've been approaching this situation in the same way. It's like going to the battle that you lost, like with the same weapons. You need to change your strategy. You need to change how you respond to certain things in life. You need to learn. I refuse to hear a person crying because of one thing all the time. Oh, this person, they broke my heart. Every time they broke your heart. Oh, they rejected me. Oh, they disappointed me. What the frickle dell? Like, you need to learn. That is something, like, there's no compromising when it comes to yourself, because it means you're not taking care of yourself. You're not paying attention to you. You need to pay attention to yourself and realize what it, like, you need to draw the line. You need to draw the line. Life, it's more like the university. What happens in life is that the difference between a traditional university or a traditional school and life as a university is that in life, you get the test before the lesson, whereas in school, you get the lesson before the test. So in life, the good thing about the life as a university is that if you manage to pick up the lesson, the next time when you get a test, you're going to be smart. You be wise, And in the school, as the typical or traditional school, it's all about intelligence. But when it comes to life as a university, it's about being wise. You become wise, not intelligent. You become wise in life, So I immerse myself in experience, and I am conscious. And I think it goes back to me building a relationship with myself, because I'm always saying, what is this thing here to teach me? And one thing I do is that I allow myself to go through what I call a sabbatical time. A sabbatical time, this is the time where I allow myself to just fall apart. And you don't get to tell me that, no, it's okay. You don't have to. No. I know when it is okay to fall apart, and I know when to put on my big girl pants and just forge forward, because there's no time to fall apart. So the reason why, so maybe the question would be, how do you know when it's time to buckle up and when it's time to fall apart? The first thing I said was authenticity, and the second thing I said was about building a relationship with yourself. So you need to know you. So that calls for you to invest in yourself, to know, where is this thing coming from? I remember a couple of days ago, I was, for a moment, I was hit by a bag full of emotions. Emotions of betrayal, emotions of anger, of regret, and all that. And I remember I just lashed all of them out. And I was like, this is how I'm feeling. Because I knew I had to let those things because they were becoming toxic to me. And I'm glad I had, my Cape gift. I had, a person who actually came through for me to support me in that moment. You see, I also go through those things. So you need to know when to you need to let it all out and when to buckle up, because there are times where you're beating yourself up, whereas there's nothing that you can do. But at that moment I knew that Kgadi, I even told him, that person, Witty, I need to feel this right now. And in order for me to be okay, I need to, it's like I need to throw up all of these negative emotions. I need to allow myself, Wuti, I feel regret, I feel betrayed, I feel this, I feel used, I feel this, I feel this and this and that. You understand? So you need to know there is feeling sorry for self, and there is, you know, dusting yourself off. Dusting yourself off is not about brushing off emotions and you pretend as if all is cool. Nah, no, 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 no. You gotta allow yourself to feel. But it all goes back to your truth. What is your truth? What is your truth? You understand? So that is what is helping me. And I think all of these things, three things that I've just shared, they help me in responding to life struggles constructively, because I believe that how you respond to life struggles can either make you or break you. So that is just the punchline. How you respond to life struggles can either make you or break you. Whatever it is that is going to happen to you today, if you're gonna be, you're gonna lose your job today, if you're gonna lose the contract in your business, if somebody's gonna say bad things about you and all this kind of stuff, if your parents are gonna lash out on you, all this kind of stuff, the punchline is that how you will respond to that will either make you or break you. So you need to take time and be very conscious about how you respond to things in life, because the truth is that even if some of us may not, allow ourselves to believe this, is that where we're gonna be tomorrow is a result of what we choose to do, how we choose to respond to life struggles or whatever it is that we face in life today. So we always have a choice. We choose. It is all in our choices. It is all in our choices. So I'm looking forward to a beautiful journey with y'all. I will try to share the pieces and to give perspective on how we can do this life thing. If anything, life is so short and we might as well just live. It is so crappy. Life is crappy on its own. It is so difficult, and we're not gonna romanticize that. Life is so crappy and difficult on its own. So the better thing we can do for ourselves is just to learn to navigate it. If we can learn how to navigate life, so that we can be happy. Like, come on, like, we need to be happy. And you need to be authentically happy, not a put a mask, put a front kind of happiness. No. We need to be happy authentically. Our laughter need to be a genuine laughter. We need to feel all the things. Like I said to myself with it, 2019, it's a year of laughter, and it's a year of feeling all that is love. That is just it. That life is supposed to be like that. Even with its difficulties, we need to find a way to be happy. We need to find a way, and it goes back to what does happiness mean to you. Actually, that is the subject for another day. I know we'll get carried away. So y'all have a beautiful day out there, and I'm hoping to see you soon. Yeah, cheers.